Hello, and welcome to the first season of DigiFox Studios' new original podcast series, The Blood-Drawn Chronicles. Brought to you in part by Cool Comics and Games, Lee County's largest comics and gaming store, and the generous contributions of audiences like you. Thank you. The Blood-Drawn Chronicles Season 1, The Manuscripts of a Vampire, stars Nelson Ventura as Myrick, son of Meyer, Alyssa Kalugden as Karina Gallo, Paul Roberts as Lord Dragon, and Sterling Torville as Lord Tyrus Godfrey. To view the full cast, crew credits, and more, please visit www.digifoxstudios.com/tbdc. On behalf of everyone here at DigiFox Studios, we want to thank you for listening, and now our story begins. If you're reading this, I bestow a word of caution to those faint of heart. This book contains a record of events that occurred and acts which I've committed during my time in the world of man. I am Myrick, son of Meyer, and these are the manuscripts of a Vampire. May 24th, 1690. The stroke of midnight falls upon us, and I have been fighting the Horde King for what seems like a millennium. Karina's description of this monster's swordsmanship is quite on the mark. He's as skillful as he is sinister. The two blades he wields are unearthly, massive in size and weight, with teeth all across the blades and no point on the ends. They had rather short hilts and spikes on the knuckle guards. These weapons, though massive in girth, were intended to be held single grip. By comparison, Karina's sword was but a mere twig, yet he still manages to move with such grace, despite wielding those behemoths. As for the matter of crossing blades, though a master he may be, I myself am no novice. However, given the fact that I'm severely weakened by the events which occurred previously, at present, we are evenly matched. I will not allow myself a stalemate this night. If I can manage to just remove one sword of his from this duel, I'm certain victory shall venture its way to my side. The idea itself is a simple one. It's the execution in my current state that makes it quite improbable. Nevertheless, the devil dies tonight.
What's the matter? Has the sudden realization that you're outclassed finally hit you? Yes, it must have. Why else would you be standing there as still as a statue? I will say, you have entertained me for the night. For that, I shall grant you life the remainder of the moon's light. But not before I remove your eyes from their sockets for the way you've looked at me, and your tongue from your mouth for the way you've spoken. I will, however, let you keep your ears so you may hear your wench when she begs me to stop, as I have knowledge of her. After which point, when I finish with her, I shall finish with you.
Here's my offer to you, monster. I will grant you no mercy, nor a quick death. I shall, however, allow you the honor of knowing your executioner's name, so that when you reach the gates of Kalos, you may tell the gatekeeper that Myrick, son of Myra, sent you, and you shall be known for all eternity as the fool who thought he could kill a Valpyr.
You are quite the character with your words. If the people of this town were still with us, they would be cheering right about now. Yes, you fit the description of every storybook hero perfectly. You're the gallant knight, off to save the land from the demon which dared to peek his horns into this world from the depths of hell. I can hear them now, chanting your name, Myrick, the Hopebringer they call you. Well then, Hopebringer, what are you waiting for? I am he from the story, the devil himself, Satan incarnate. Come, slay me, fulfill your purpose. Send me and my demon horde back to hell. But know this, God's purpose for the devil does not end here. What are you waiting for? Smite me!
As you wish.
Is this the extent of your skill? You'll have to try something different, like this! Keep it up, Hopebringer! For your sake, you had better hope your weapon doesn't snap on you, or you'll find yourself in pieces! You won't defeat me with such a puny little sword! After it breaks, I will!
Hang on!
My hand! You filthy whore!
Are you alright, Mr. Myerson?
Yes.
Good. Now then, let's take him together. He won't stand a chance.
Is that what you think? That because I stand here one-handed, I am no longer a match for the likes of you both? I am more than capable of destroying the two of you, even in my current predicament.
You're fooling no one, Plaguebringer. I watched you struggle with Myrick, and that was when you had both hands. Your fighting style relies heavily on the use of both weapons in each hand. Your left hand is gone, and you're down to only one sword in the other. The odds are heavily stacked against you, and you know it.
So I've lost Reaper, and you assume victory on the fact that I can only wield Death Dealer now? Here! Take Death Dealer as well! I will not be needing a sword to be rid of you both.
Whatever game you're playing, it won't work.
No games, wench! I don't need swords anymore for what I am about to do. Now, witness in awe as I unleash the devil into this world!
This is impossible, yet I stand here in more awe than Karina. The Horde King possesses the ability of transformation. I stare heavily as he grows in size. I was unaware vampires had the capacity to achieve transformation. Why did Tyrus Godfrey not resort to this in his last efforts? Could this be due to the fact that Dragon appears more Valpyr than man? If so, what does this mean? How did this creature come to be? More and more questions race through my mind as I witness the Horde King growing. He's now massive in size, yet his transformation does not resemble the transformation that a Vampire achieves. Not since the time of Melbourne has House M resorted to the need of transforming. No good can come of it. Karina, listen to me closely. You have got to get out of here.
What? No, we can take him together.
It's in your best interest that you leave. You'll only get in my way.
You're not seriously planning on taking him alone. You had a hard enough time defeating him when he was normal. Now he stands well over twice your height.
At first our fight was based on our skill of the sword. This, however, is now based purely on brute strength.
You're not really suggesting that you're going to take that hulking behemoth head on.
Leave. I don't want to end up burying you, too.
Never. If it should come that I shall fall, it won't be before I witness this monster's head severed from the rest of him.
I shall enjoy crushing you both.
You fool only yourself, Plaguebringer. Look around you. You're standing on a cliff that leads to nothing but the sea. You're cornered, and the only way out is through me. You could fly away, but we both know I wouldn't let you get very far.
How do you honestly hope to stand a chance against me now?
You're losing a vast amount of blood, even as we speak. You underestimated Karina and her skills as an adequate fighter. For that, you and your horde lost in the process. Then, in a moment of desperation, you chose to transform as a meaningless act of intimidation. With the amount of blood you've already lost, I'd say you won't stand so mighty for much longer. Now then, let's send you back to where you belong.
You first!
He came at me with all fury. Though his transformation granted him the power to strike me down, what he amassed in strength due to his new form, he poorly lacked in speed. He swung his right arm aimlessly, with every attempt directed as a finishing blow. Much like my first confrontation with Karina, he was too slow. A fatal flaw I found in human physiology is the sleep factor. Dragon, despite his appearance, is not a Vampire, and as such, he shall fall victim to this weakness as well. He tires, and eventually he will fall under the stress of fatigue.
Fight me, damn it!
I've already told you, I'm not here to fight you. I'm here to kill you. Though I cannot hear his heartbeats, I become quite familiar with the look of a desperate man, as in what was indeed a daring act of desperation. He manages to grab hold of Karina. He holds her by the neck, at the edge of the cliff. Her feet dangle in the air. One wrong move on my part, and he'll drop her. Curse the human body for being so fragile. Even if she hits the water, a drop at this altitude may kill her.
Stay where you are. Don't come any closer, or she dies.
Don't listen to him, Myrick. Finish it!
Very well, then. The choice is yours. Stay and finish me, or catch the horde!
I hesitate at first, but against all logic, I dive off the cliff in order to save her. By increasing my speed, I manage to grab her. Now firmly in my arms, I gradually decrease speed as to reduce the amount of impact. I am in no way able to ignore landing in the water. As I prepare for impact, nothing could have prepared me for what happened next. The instant my body touched the seawater, it was like 1,000 knives plunged into my body at once. The pain I felt as my body began to burn away, exposing nerves and muscle tissue, it was beyond anything I had ever encountered. At the top of my lungs, I screamed to the heavens.
I'm burning!
those were my last words, as my body continued to melt away. My eyesight fades to darkness as I descend to the bottom of the sea.